Views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast. I'm John Eagleman and I appreciate you being here today. Today we are at the Bloom Cheese Collective in Fayetteville talking with the supremely energetic co-owner Allie K. Hammer Cameron. But first, good news. Indeed, and we kick it off with the Fayetteville Public Library. That's right, the library. This past weekend, Handshake opened in the expansion of the library by owner Hope Ray and business partner and chef Jamison Hall. It's counter service, and they'll be serving breakfast, an all-day menu, and shareables from 6 to 9. Breakfast items include biscuits and gravy, breakfast burritos, overnight oats, and more. All-day items include sandwiches, salads, and bowls. Shareables include flatbreads, dips, and one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, the fried Brussels sprouts. There will be a big focus on sourcing locally. Hours at Handshake are Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Firecat Coffee is open in South Fayetteville. The Fayetteville Flyer was all over this one. The spot is owned and operated by Adam Firecat, who back in the day used to bus tables at Village Inn and do it in under 10 seconds flat. I saw it happen. He's also been, as the Flyer put it, a frequent mayoral and city council candidate. Firecat Coffee is drive-through only and in the former Bank of Fayetteville building located at 1560 South School Avenue. Also from the Flyer, we'll see a Cronut Donuts open catty corner to Firecat Coffee. It'll be the third location in Fayetteville. The plan is for them to open early next year. It was a big night Monday at Maxine's Taproom in Fayetteville as they held their 12th annual Nog-Off, benefiting the Fayetteville Independent Restaurant Alliance. 8 local bartenders submitted their best eggnog recipes, and patrons drank and voted on them. Congrats to J.I. Downham from Riley's. He is the winner. They raised $3,000. In Springdale, Crispin Green will be having their grand opening next Tuesday, the 16th at 10:30 a.m. It'll be the second Crispin Green in Northwest Arkansas, the first one being in Bentonville in 2023. This location is at 5761 Sunset, just down the strip from Chipotle and across Gene George from the Springdale Sam's Club. Also on that strip will be the next Potbelly sandwich shop in our area. They just opened the new one in Bentonville a few weeks ago. They'll announce the opening date soon for the Springdale location. They're hoping for it to be before the end of the year. Sunday, December 21st will be the last time you'll be able to eat at the historic Monte Ne Inn for a while. After that, they will go on their off-season. Mark your calendars as they will reopen on Wednesday, February the 4th. A new shop within a shop opened last weekend in downtown Rogers. The Honeycomb Kitchen Shop opened their wine shop. Great selection in a smaller space. You'll be able to buy wines that they use in their cooking classes, and be sure to check out the staff picks as well, plus much, much more. Tonight is the 3rd annual Occupy Odd Soul in downtown Springdale. They'll be raising money for Samaritan's Shelter, and you can also pre-purchase a pizza or more. They go to folks that are having tough times this holiday season. Hope to see you there tonight. And if you want to know more behind the story of Occupy Odd Soul, check out our interview with Jeffro Brown from September the 17th. The NWA Daily Newsletter had this one. Rhea Pizza will be opening in downtown Rogers by the end of the year. They'll be open 6 days a week and will feature Neapolitan-style pizza with locally sourced ingredients. They'll also have a full-service bar, and they hope to have 3 locations in the next 2 years. They'll be in the Proof Building at 200 North 1st Street. 2 big anniversaries this past week or so. Happy 14th anniversary to Vitro 1925 in downtown Fayetteville, and happy 8th to Envision Nutrition in downtown Rogers. A couple of downtown locations with some strong staying power. In today's Flavors Flashback, we're playing something for you that we made an abbreviated reel of recently, but wanted to play the whole story for you. We had talked with Brenda Swango at the River Grill, who told us about the archaic Arkansas liquor laws back when she opened in the year 2000. Here's how she acquired a popular case of wine back in the day.
I tell this story about cake bread. You know, I could sell a case of cake bread a week because, you know, it was like one of those cult wines that the vendors knew and they all wanted the cake bread. But they wouldn't sell it to me. And so their rule with cake bread is that 75% of the wine has to be sold to restaurants before they give it to the public. So, but for me to buy their wine, I'd have to buy it from a liquor store, but they wouldn't sell to the liquor store because they have to sell they want to sell so much to the restaurants. So I would, I'd call the winery. I'm like, but I'm a restaurant. I'd send them my menus. I'd be like, I need your wine. I need your wine.
Yeah.
Like, can you just send it to this liquor store? Because that's how I have to buy it.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do it. So I was like bootlegging, going across. I was like, I need to have
That's
that
what
wine.
we were tiptoeing around. Yeah.
So I'd go across the line, head up to Missouri,
Yeah.
and get my case of cake bread, and so I could sell it here at the restaurant.
That's so great.
But things have changed since then.
Sure.
So.
Allie K. Hammer Cameron entered the cheese world initially due to locational happenstance. She lived near a cheese shop in Dallas that she fell in love with and eventually worked there. She'll tell us about her budding love affair with cheese and how she became a certified cheese professional. After some time in North Carolina, she and her husband Brooks moved to Fayetteville to be closer to family and build a family of their own. What made her want to start a cheese shop here? She tells the story about what it was that made her decide to do it. Also, when putting together a cheese shop, what's the most important part of it, and what cheeses do you start with? She'll tell us about that as well. Finally, they have some big plans for 2026, and she lets us in on a fun one. And that's next, right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas podcast.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Well, hello there. Welcome back. We are at the Bloom Cheese Collective, and we're with the great Allie K. Hammer Cameron.
I'm telling you.
How are
it's
you?
the name. I'm great.
Listen,
great.
Whenever I see you, whenever we run into each other, or whenever we're, if there's a hangout or anything like that, we always end up laughing.
We do. That's what my dad taught me from a very young age.
Kind of the same.
You gotta laugh.
Kind of the same.
Mostly at yourself.
Well, kind of the same, actually. The truth.
That's why we get along well.
I think so. So I'm looking forward to this. So thanks for doing it.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. So one of the things that we have in common, we're both from Dallas. We're both from D-Town. We grew up like probably 15 minutes from each other. Not far.
Yep.
You were
Good old Dallas.
Lake Highlands area, right?
Yep.
Okay. I was a little bit west of there, but not much.
Back when the 635 and 75 just did that.
Yeah.
That was it. This
Yeah.
one and then the other.
Okay. So
now it's like the Matrix.
Oh, I know.
I can't even.
Now it's Legos.
I can't do it.
Yeah. So 635, 75, me too, southwest side.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right there.
Okay.
So not far. Not far. Yeah. Excellent. So after high school, you go to the University of North Texas.
That's right.
Well, you know what? Before we get into that, I wanted to ask you, what did you want to be when you grew up when you were a kid?
I will tell you, I always wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yeah?
Loved animals. And my mom we had guinea pigs, snakes, ferrets. Dogs. You name it.
You had all of them.
We had them all.
Yeah.
So, and I was very lucky in that. And I will say, into my adult life, I have continued. We're at an all-time low, but we have a lot of the two-leggers, as we call them.
A lot of the two-leggers.
A lot of the two-leggers.
Yes.
So the four-leggers had to go. No. But I did, through college, I worked at an exotic animal hospital.
No kidding.
Just to earn extra money and keep myself out of trouble.
No way.
It was probably one of my, outside of cheese,
Clearly.
one of my most favorite jobs I ever had.
My gosh, what was the most exotic reptile you ever dealt with?
We worked with an animal importer-exporter, and so we got to see, my boss had a pet lemur that his name was Houdini, and he ran all over the house. He just had his way. They also had a pet kangaroo.
Stop it.
Diapers and all. And then he got too big for diapers, and the diapers didn't go up to his size. But
Oh, no.
But yeah, so we saw all sorts of stuff. I mean, reptiles and birds, like giant macaws. Like it was. Let me tell you, you want to get the fear of God put in you.
Oh boy.
Try to do a beak trim on a giant 3-foot macaw. They look at you like
Lunch?
get ready.
Oh, no.
Get ready.
Did you ever fight or struggle with any of them?
Usually it was a team effort.
Okay.
But
Okay.
for some reason, I usually got thrown to the birds, if you will.
Hi-yo.
Zing. Yeah, I don't know, but anyways, it was fun. It was. Whoops.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's good. It was it was good, but no, it was a fun job. I mean, I loved it. I worked my behind off.
Yeah.
Because it was just fun. It was fun, good hard work, and so yeah.
Yeah, animal lover. I mean, I grew up that way too.
Well, and then I realized, I actually don't want to be a doctor because, I don't want to do all that.
Right.
It's like, not to say anything, about human doctors versus animal doctors, but it's like you're studying, like, the body of a dog, the body of a cat, and then you go exotics, and then you've got birds and reptiles, and, I went through this phase where I was breeding chameleons. Don't even get me started. My husband was like, how many more of these chameleons are you going to get? And I'm like, I don't know. The world's your oyster. But
my gosh.
I love
That's going to be my
it.
next band name, Breeding Chameleons.
There you go, Breeding
Pretty good,
Chameleons.
right?
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
No.
Sometimes they don't even know what they're doing.
Oh, no.
But, Anyway.
All right. Okay. Speaking of college, you went to UNT.
I did.
What did you go there to do?
Fashion design.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I got my degree.
Oh,
in it,
nice.
the whole thing.
Nice.
Start to finish.
Did you get a fashion job out of college?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I graduated and I boxed up my sewing machine, and it only recently came out of its box last year.
Okay.
And I graduated in 2008.
Nice.
So if that tells you anything about, PTSD from, college.
Oh, I'm sure.
But my husband, Brooks, as a gift to me, was like, I found your sewing machine, and I brought it down, and I didn't really know how to
Scar tissue.
I know, I was like, you did what? And we set it up. We did. We got it. We set it up, and I still have yet to use it.
Oh,
but
no.
It's there.
Okay.
It could be used.
Okay.
But I haven't yet.
All right.
That's another day and another time.
Clark, it's the gift that keeps on giving. That's it. That's exactly it.
In all reality, he needed me to sew something on one of his favorite coats. So
Okay.
I did. I hand sewed it though.
Okay.
Not with the machine.
All right. Yeah.
But I did do it.
Okay.
I
All
did
right.
do it. The responsible life.
I've done a little hand sewing, kind of reparative sewing, if you will, and really poorly. I mean, exceptionally poorly.
It's
oh
hard.
Yeah. My mom was a magician at it.
Even hand sewing.
Oh my gosh, are you
I
kidding me?
recently got into darning. Do you know what darning is?
I have no idea.
It's an old hand sewing technique from like back in the day. They used to call it like darning your socks. And so it's like you sew the. Anyways, this is a story that doesn't matter. But I recently needed to repair something.
Our 4 listeners were in. Please keep going.
Yeah, we're in for a real treat. We're talking about darning socks over here. Anyways, never got a job in fashion design.
Okay,
I
all right.
immediately just kept working at the animal hospital.
Okay.
I graduated and was like, I'm just going to keep working here until I figure out what I want to do.
All right. So no longer an internship, an actual job.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good. And so you kept that going. When did you get into cheese, and what was it that got you into cheese?
So.
Have I taken a big step here?
No,
Okay.
you haven't.
Okay,
It
good.
all is actually rather fluid.
Oh, good.
So I decided I wasn't going anywhere with the animal hospital gig, which was fine. It was fun, but I was like, I got to do something. So I had decided to work. I got a job as a legal assistant, which I was not very good at. But I still did it, and it got me back to Dallas. At that point, I was still in Denton. So I moved back to Dallas, got a job as a legal assistant, and I had moved into this little apartment off of Oak Lawn and Lemon.
Yes, I used to work right there.
Okay, so that is where Scardello Cheese is, their very first location. So I moved into an apartment right behind Scardello, and I didn't know, like, I walked by one day and was like, shop for cheese? That's so weird. And I was just like, I don't know. Whatever, cheese shop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And one day I went in, and I was like, this is magical. Like,
Ooh.
I had never.
It was Disneyland, like for a kid, right?
Well, my dad and I grew up always eating cheese. Like,
Okay.
I would go to the grocery store with him back when people went to the grocery store.
Sure, yeah.
And we would go together, and he loved cheese, and so he would take me to the cheese aisle.
Cheese section, yeah.
You know, and we would always pick out, like, the Gruyere and, whatever other little fun, funky thing we could find.
Sure.
And we would sit and eat it together.
So the inspiration of the cheese comes from Dad.
Yes.
Okay.
Comes from Dad.
Awesome.
And that was like our thing,
Yeah.
and it was
That's cool.
usually when I'd been behaving, which wasn't often, but that was it.
Yeah.
And so, that comes way back from Dad.
Okay, so you have the magical shop.
The magical shop. So I was in there, and they had classes.
Okay.
And a lot of my very best, most fondest cheese memories come from Scardello.
Okay.
And it to this day, my favorite job I ever have. I think I have dreams. I had
That's
Scardello
like right over there
exists
by
in my dreams.
Yeah, right over there by River Shawn Park, right?
Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when I was getting ready to open this place, a lot of it was kind of based on some of my
The inspiration.
and like best cheese memories from Scardello.
Wow.
Which to this day, Rich is a good friend of mine, and I called him and I was like, I might be crazy, but this is what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah.
And he was like, how can I help? I am here,
the best.
for any questions you've got. I mean, that's cheese people for you, though.
Man, yes. I've noticed.
Cheese people stick together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a community. I've been working in cheese for about 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And a lot
Okay.
of almost all the people I've come across along the way, we still keep in touch.
It's great.
And it's like no time's gone by. It's like I haven't talked to you in 5 years, and I see you, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's just, that's kind of how it is in the cheese world.
That's amazing.
But anyway, so I started going in there all the time, and I was probably what they considered a cheese groupie,
Oh.
They were like, here's this girl again.
Yeah.
And one day I was like, I really want to work here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be brave. And they were like, well, a lot of people say that.
Right.
But luckily enough, they hired me on. They needed a Saturday person because
Okay.
Saturdays are always the busiest day.
Sure.
And so they hired me on to work Saturdays and then class nights. And
Yes.
it was the beginning. The beginning of the end. No.
The seed is sown.
Yes, the seed is sown. And so, anyways, from there, they needed a wholesale manager, so somebody that goes around and sells cheese to different chefs in town. And so they were like,
Perfect.
do you want to do it, and B, this is kind of like what we want you to do. And so, and so I was like, of course, this is a dream come true.
It's great.
And so that's what I started doing. That's really honestly how I got to know a lot of the chefs in Dallas. Was I was just cold calling people. Like,
Yeah.
I was taking cheese samples, which, that's like the way in anybody's heart, cheese
Sure,
samples.
of course.
To this day.
Yeah,
Like, I really
100%.
want something. I'm like, here's some cheese samples.
Try this.
Try this. Like, cheese people are happy people.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
we say that because it's not just like something funny to say, but your brain reacts to cheese like it does to dopamine.
Okay.
There's particular amino acids, and your brain reacts in the same way. So literally, it's like a scientific fact that
Interesting.
cheese makes you happy. So there you go.
I'm not here to
Look
dispute
it up.
that, I can assure you.
Google it. It's true.
Google
it. But anyway, so Scardello. So I started doing wholesale for them.
Okay.
And from there, I got hired by, and I worked for them for maybe 4 years.
Wow, okay.
And that was where I did a lot of my CCP training. So that is the Certified Cheese Professional.
Okay.
That I was talking about, the certification for
Yeah.
cheese. I did a lot of my training was in those years with Scardello.
Okay.
And I was pretty kind of footloose and fancy free, so I traveled a lot. And
Yeah.
everywhere I went, I was visiting cheesemakers and breweries and winemakers and just anybody that would essentially let me in their door.
It's great.
And so I got to see a lot of different cheese shops and how they did stuff, and cheesemakers and how they did stuff. And so
A lifelong internship.
oh my gosh, it was the best.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot because I mean, you give me a book. I mean, just ask Brooks. Like, you give me a book, and I have a great book collection. Have I read any of them? Not a one. Not a one. I am not, like, if I ever tell you that I've read, like, oh, you should read this book. Like, you should know that something's wrong. Like, something's wrong with her. Because I'm not, I'm a hands-on learner.
Don't you love it? Yeah, I'm the same. Don't you love it when friends post, oh, this is my 13th book this month? And I'm like,
or like, people are like, oh, you ask somebody a question and they're like, oh, you should read this book. And I'm like, no, can you just tell me, like, in 5 sentences, like, what that book, just tell me. But, that's
so good.
art degree, I'm a hands-on learner. I was like,
same.
I spent 5 years, even at the vet clinic, you're doing hands-on learning.
No question,
And so for me, cheese was very much the same way. Like I was, and kind of how I similarly like work behind the case and how I, my training as a cheesemonger was just so hands-on. So that's kind of how I train my mongers, where I'm like, just get in there, handle the cheese, taste the cheese. The best thing you can do is taste the cheese. Hence our taste everything sign. I mean, really, it's like there's no memory logged into your brain like a taste memory. It's like there's a cheese to this day I can taste, and it like reminds me of sitting and eating cheese with my dad.
No kidding.
And it's just like your brain like logs these moments.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of people that will come in and they're like, hey, I had this cheese. I was in Italy. I was on a trip. It was soft and gooey and wrinkly and, it had all these flavors. And I'm like, try this. And they try it and they're like, and you could see it in their eyes.
It's the aha moment. Yeah.
It's the aha moment.
Yeah.
And I think cheese is a lot. And that's one of my favorite things that I love about cheese is that it's a lot that way.
It's amazing.
So,
You never, it's just a regular consumer, regular John Q. Public. I never think of it like that, but it makes all the sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, and being in the culinary world, it's, people are chasing these like taste, like terroir, like a taste of place, and trying to create what their style is.
Right.
And I think cheesemakers are a lot the same way because you're manipulating something. It's like, oh no, the goat got into the onion patch. Let's make a cheese with chives in it, And
Nice.
so, I think that you're taking this beautiful raw material and manipulating it in a way where you're just enhancing it. You're enhancing the flavors.
Right.
In the terroir. I mean, you can't, people are like, what about, you say it's a robiola, but it's not from Italy. And it's like, well, stylistically, you can make a cheese that's like a robiola with the same cultures, but you're going to have your spin on it because you're getting your milk from North Carolina, for instance, which is where I had my first cheese-making job.
Interesting.
But you're kind of trying to capture, in essence, like the flavor of where you are. Yeah. And
makes
put
all
your
the
spin
sense.
on it. So that's kind of the fun part about it.
The cheese with the getting in the onion patch, does it make you think of Napoleon Dynamite at all when he's tasting the milk and he's like, yep, that cow was in an onion patch?
Yes, it's exactly it.
Same thing though, right?
You can taste it. Seriously, it's like, it translates through the milk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why there's a Sardinian cheese and the goats are eating, grasses on the side of a cliff where the wind is blowing the sea water up on to the grass, and that's what they're eating. Yeah. And the milk's saltier and the cheese is saltier, and you can kind of, it like translates all the way through.
It makes all the sense in the world, but it's interesting. I hadn't thought of it that way.
That's why I love it. Cheese is like its very own art form.
100%.
It's not just something you eat. It's like this beautiful piece of art. I mean, again, coming from the art background, it's like I'm constantly looking at things in a way where I'm like, that's so beautiful. And I think cheese making is like this collaboration and just combination of all of those things where it's like, not only is it beautiful, but it tastes amazing.
It is
it's a win-win-win.
It is a huge product of environment for sure. I get that. All right. So you mentioned Brooks a few times, your husband.
Yes, my better half.
Well, I don't know about all that. Tell me, there he is. Tell me about meeting.
Yes. Okay. So we were in Dallas. And again, he, I had lived there for the first 30 years of my life.
Sure.
And his parents kind of traveled around, and he actually was born here in Fayetteville.
Oh, okay.
At the VA hospital, when the VA hospital was Washington Regional.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't. They traveled around a lot, and so they landed in Dallas, and I think he was junior high.
Okay.
But we never met. I mean, we didn't meet until after he went to culinary school in New York, and he had worked for several different Michelin star restaurants and seasoned on Nantucket, and he had gotten his fill and was like, man, I need to be somewhere that's not cement, like
Yeah.
I gotta go. And so he had moved back to Dallas, and at the time I had a friend, a chef friend of mine that had needed like an extra hostess, and he was like, hey, you want to come make some? I was like, sure, I'll come. That sounds like fun. Not fun. I'm a terrible hostess, by the way. Don't ever let anyone, but I tried really hard.
That was my first job in a restaurant, was a host.
I tried really hard.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, it was a very high-end restaurant,
Yeah.
and so I was like trying to do all this stuff. But anyways, and so he, my chef friend, had hired Brooks, and so he was like, hey, this guy Brooks just moved to town, hired him as a garde manger chef. You know everybody. You should introduce him to some people. And so I was like, okay, sure, whatever. So we met, and I was just kind of trying to show him around town, and we were friends for a while before anything really happened.
Sure.
But one thing leads to another, I guess. But I always said I'm never going to marry a chef. Well, here I am.
There you go. You go.
He wooed me.
Did
but
he
anyways,
wow you with some cheese or something? Is that what did it?
We always joked it was like I was the cheese to his charcuterie, because he was more of he ran a couple. He really had a lot of interest in charcuterie, and he ran some charcuterie programs.
Gotcha.
And even when after we got married, moved to North Carolina, he did butchery for a while, but he also did whole animal butchery in the restaurant too. So he was really like the meat, and I was really like the cheese.
Okay.
And so we really bonded in that way, which was fun.
Okay.
But yeah, so we met, and essentially we had decided we were going to go on this grand escapade.
Grand adventure.
Yeah. And my mom was like, if you think you're taking my daughter anywhere without putting a ring on her finger, then you better think again, buddy.
Get it. Heck
Okay,
yeah.
Kay laid the smack down. No. So we did. We got married,
Nice.
and it was a beautiful wedding, very
Good.
small. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And I had a cheesemaker friend in North Carolina that was like, hey, if y'all are looking to do something wild, come up here. I'd never made cheese before.
Okay.
So I had worked in specialty shop, distribution, wholesale.
You've done everything else.
But I mean, not everything, but kind of the big parts,
Sure.
like learning all the trades. And so I was like, oh my God, I'd love to learn how to make cheese.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I was not good at making cheese.
Okay.
Another thing I learned
All right.
that I was not good at.
Okay.
But I did learn a lot. I mean,
Okay.
because with cheese making, it's not just like, you're putting the milk in and you coagulate it and then boom, you got cheese. It's like you're almost, you've got affinage, so you've got cheese aging, you've got cheese making, and you've got cheese aging. So it's like you're making the cheese, and then you're taking care of it.
Right.
You're like a microbe farmer essentially.
Oh wow.
And to
yeah,
put
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, to put it, just an understatement of the century. But I mean, it's like you put cheeses in these. Every cheese style has its own environment that it needs to be in to thrive and to grow and to make it into what you get in your final case. And so I got put in charge of the blue cheese room.
Oh.
Which I love blue cheese. I was so excited. Well, at that time, I also had found out that I was newly pregnant.
Oh.
So here I am, little Allie, in North Carolina, blue cheese aging room.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just tell you, it didn't really go well.
Oh, no.
But I did learn a lot, and then they moved me over into a different room, which actually worked a lot better.
Okay.
Blue cheese and pregnancy didn't really mesh well. For
Interesting.
me,
Okay.
anyways.
All
It's
right.
different for every woman.
So that's not necessarily. It's like not necessarily like a common thing. It was just you in that case.
It
probably.
was just me in that case, but
All right.
I will tell you, it was so much fun learning about all, and I will say it's translated through into what I do now.
Okay.
Because learning how to take care of cheese at that level, you're able to see a cheese and identify different things like, hey, that doesn't look quite right, or there's something wrong here, or
Right.
it's a little too dry, or it needs a little bit of moisture, or we need to wrap it, or we need to flip it, or there's all these like little things you do to take care of cheese. It's not like you're buying jars of mustard and stacking them up on a shelf.
Right.
It's like
Right.
you're buying these, cheese
Yeah.
is alive.
Yeah.
So it's got to breathe. It's got to.
You're not buying Kraft singles.
Yeah. You're not just stacking vacuum sealed blocks on a shelf. You're
Right.
really having to take care and take into consideration all of the different cheeses and their needs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that stint that I did at cheesemaking really taught me so much, and not just that I wasn't very good at it, but that there's so many steps that go into it. And so it was really fun.
So none of us need to anticipate the Alley K homemade provolone or anything like that. Okay, all right.
Negative.
No cheese making here.
No cheese making here. I am going to leave that to the people. Well, and it's, people love to take cheese and give it this like fancy kind of snooty vibe, and I'm like, have you ever been in a like cheese room making cheese? I mean, I never have. It's incredible. These people are like, I mean, they're like, they got bonnets, they've got masks, they're like up in their suits, and they're like hauling like 40 pounds of milk around.
So it's like they look like they're going to the ICU.
I mean, yes, and they're like, they're usually very strong because you're like doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Okay.
And there's all this equipment that you have to manage, and so it's very, it's very much a science, and it takes a lot. And there's a lot of tiny cheesemakers out there. One of my most favorite cheese people of all time, her name's Sam, and she works for, or she's one of the owners of Boxcar, which is also out in North Carolina. It was the second cheesemaker I worked for.
Now, where were you in North Carolina, by the way?
The Triangle.
Oh, okay.
Durham.
Yeah.
And so Boxcar, and we're still friends to this day. I mean, it's Sam and Austin Genke. Boxcar handmade cheese. They make some of my most favorite cheese, but they're just amazing. And
nice.
she was like making cheese with a baby on her back. I mean,
oh, nice.
It's like, you think about cheese, people have been making cheese since the beginning of time.
Of course.
And so, where there's a will, there's a way. Mm-hmm. But it's not for the faint of heart.
I wouldn't think so.
Maybe I was faint of heart. I don't know. But I was like, I like this side better, where I get to I'm like their hype people.
There you go.
And so that for
make
me,
cheese. Make cheese.
I'm like, I like being the storyteller. And,
yes, you do.
I like, eating all the different cheese.
Heck
which is, when we moved here, so we ended up, we were like, man, we had our firstborn, Billy Kay, way too far away. We were like, we have got to get closer to family. This is crazy. And so we moved here, which is where Brooks's parents had retired to.
Okay.
And so we came here and we were like, this place is great.
Yeah.
Done. And so, Brooks was working, he got hired by Arkansas Children's. Before they were open, he was one of their opening chefs.
Nice.
And I was just, I don't know, it's like, there wasn't a lot of cheese jobs here, so I just kind of was like, well, I'll land, and, I got the baby, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And so, I don't know that the cheese shop was always the dream. Brooks and I knew we wanted to do some sort of collaborative venture, whatever it was.
Sure.
Cheese and food, cheese and charcuterie, something like that.
Absolutely.
And so, the cheese shop kind of came out of this decade of collaboration and brainstorming that Brooks and I had done.
Yeah.
And I think still, even the collective part of it, it's it's constantly evolving.
Oh,
I'd say.
And it should always, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to say that I knew exactly what I was doing would be the overstatement of this.
Well, no, and I get it. And when would
I had an idea.
Right.
I had a dream, and I knew that I wanted to do something.
I would love to get to the point where you all were like, let's just do it. Let's start looking for or did this place stumble upon you like, oh my gosh?
Well, that's it. The space is what did it.
Okay.
So, when we first moved here, I can't remember how I met Emily Lawson, who owns Pink House.
Yes.
And because she owns this building.
Okay.
And we met, and I think she was pregnant, and I was pregnant.
Oh,
and
okay.
we both were like, she was like, I work in food, and I was like, oh, my husband works in food, and I work in cheese, and I remember we had this moment where we were like, just both extremely pregnant women and talking about food, and we just got along really well. And that, fast forward, I don't know, 6 years later, so Pink Fern in the front of our building, through COVID, I started a tropical plant business where I sold tropical plants out of my house.
Oh, nice.
And I I figured out how to import plants from Indonesia and Thailand.
What?
And I know. You give me enough time and I'll
Wow.
But anyways, so I was importing all of these plant specimens and
Yeah.
propagating them and growing them, and I had this greenhouse set up, which I still have. It's not doing as well as it once was.
Well,
but, you know.
You may have a few other things going.
But it got me through COVID, and I mean, you can see when you come in here, I've got plants all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, there'd be more, but balance.
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 Yeah, I'm with you.
But anyway, so that's how I met Lindsay in the front space, and
Yeah.
there was another retail spot back here. It wasn't food.
Okay.
But she was like, "Hey, the business behind me is closing and the space is available. You should go check it out." And I was like, "Girl, you're crazy." She was like, "Well, maybe you could put a cheese shop back there. You've always wanted to do it." And I was like, "You're crazy. I got 4 kids and we're busy, and that's just never going to happen." And so like a month goes by. I had still never come back here.
Yeah.
She was like, "You should check it out." I'm just saying. And
Come look at it.
And Brooks was like, "You should go just look at it. Just walk back there." He was like, I don't know. You've never been, for funsies, right? Just go back and check.
For funsies.
For funsies. And so I walked back here and I was like, holy cow, this is amazing.
Right.
And so I took my business card and wrote on the back of it, like, cheese and wine shop ? And I just left it at the, like, coffee bar over there. And I was like, give this to Emily, I don't know, whenever.
Yeah, over
just
Pink
an
House, yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
Whatever. And literally within 10 minutes, she had texted me and was like, "Are you still in the area? I'd love for you to come talk." And I was like, "Actually, I am."
Yeah.
And so I came back and she was like, "This is great. This is exactly what we need." I mean, and the
Heck
rest,
yeah.
and the rest was kind of history.
That's great. That's great.
So
that's what started the collaboration.
that's what started the collaboration.
Outstanding.
So
Outstanding.
it's been an adventure. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. I had this idea, and I had this beautiful space,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to. The best thing I had was that I was a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
with a cell phone
Okay.
and a computer,
Okay.
and I was like, I can figure this out.
Yeah.
I've got these things. I'm just gonna figure it out.
There you go.
And I just called people until. I mean, it was like the longest trail of, well, you should talk to this person, and nobody had any answers. And anyways,
I'm sure. Oh,
we
gosh.
finally, I mean, I can go into all of that, but it was a bit nightmarish, but it got done.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And here you are.
And here we are.
So getting into space, you sign the papers, you guys are doing it. You're full go. You walk in, you're like, where do we start? What do we do? How do we get this place into what we need it to be? What was that like? Was it overwhelming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing we bought, and still, like, really the only new piece of equipment that we bought, like, brand new, was our cheese case. I knew that it was the heart of the shop,
Right.
and I wasn't going to settle for anything less than exactly what I wanted.
Right.
And we had to take off, like, door frames and doors just to get it in the building.
Wow.
I mean, it was like strip it back, this thing, and it barely fit. I mean, it literally was like less than 1/8 of an inch. Like, I mean, it was like, but we got it in,
Yeah.
and everything was great. But I mean, it all goes back to the cheese case.
Yeah.
It's the heart of the shop.
Absolutely.
And even when there's so much going on, and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Holiday boxes, sandwiches, classes, cheese club. It's like, we have to remember, like, the cheese is the heart of the whole thing.
100%.
And so it all goes back to the cheese, which is really the fun part. It's like going shopping,
What was it like opening the doors here?
Scary.
Yeah.
I was like, well, now I've got all this cheese, and I hope that people want to eat it, because if
Please come in.
Please come eat cheese with me. Ooh. Yeah.
Spinning my elbow. Sorry. That's like twice I've hurt myself sitting here. No, please continue. You're fine.
Yeah, no, but
That's 100% on me, by the way. I'm clumsy.
Just eat some cheese.
Yeah, rub some cheese on it.
Rub some cheese on it. You'll be just fine.
So you get the doors open, you're going. You guys have gotten great response. Tell me how that's been for you, especially the community here.
It's been overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, people really have just come out of the woodworks, and every day people are coming in. I've never been in here before. like, we are so excited, so-and-so told us. I mean, our best compliments are like word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, we have had a lot of people like you.
No.
I think you were the very first interview I did.
Maybe.
So, you know.
At Word Coffee.
You know, at Word Coffee.
That's right.
But it's been people helping spread the word. Like,
yeah.
You know, word of mouth is just the best compliment and best way to spread the news about
Absolutely.
cheese.
Absolutely.
You know, we were really good friends with Jessica at Sweet Freedom.
Yes.
And she has been, oh my gosh, one of my biggest cheerleaders.
That's great.
When I met her.
She's awesome.
When I met her, she didn't even have Sweet Freedom opened yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like we met just in the cheese world. And I was like, Fayetteville, Arkansas, where's that?
She was the one that told me about you.
Yes. And so it's like, when I say like cheese people stick together, I mean, really, when I moved here, you know, and they were in Bentonville, and we lived in West Fork, and then now here kind of next to Goley Park.
Nice.
But it was like, I remember being like, Fayetteville, Arkansas, that sounds insane. You know, here I am from Dallas, Texas. But anyways, and so, but she's been, oh my God, she has been.
She's great.
Like a lifeline godsend. I can't even say enough good things about her. And she's like, I love this because now I can come in and I can sit and eat cheese and have fun and I don't have to run the shop.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, I'm so jealous.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But she's great.
She is.
She's been a huge asset
That's great.
to us here.
That's
I
great.
mean, and even just spreading the word, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think of it, a lot of small businesses, it's like, how do we get the word out? And like, you're in it every day, all day. You're like, everybody's got to have heard of us by now, right? Because, I mean, this is my life. But, I mean, 9 times out of 10, people still have not, like, oh my gosh, there's a cheese shop here in town. That's great. And so I think a lot of the community, especially the food community, has been so helpful just in that and you know, telling people.
That's great. That's great. You ready to talk cheese?
What?
You ready to talk cheese?
Yeah, let's have more.
Cheese,
let's
wine,
cheese.
clubs, shark, whatever. Food.
Yeah. Yes.
The whole bit.
The whole bit.
All right, we got that. We got the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and that is next right here on the Flavors of Northwest Arkansas.
Let me show you something.
Connect with us at Flavors of Northwest Arkansas on Facebook and Instagram, or by email at flavorsofnwa@gmail.com.
Okay, it is time for the Mike Engelman Home Pro Tip of the Week, and for that, we go to Allie. Allie, what is your tip?
Okay, so my tip, the ultimate snack plate. So whether you're, you know, a single person or a couple, or you've got kids, or you've got a lot of kids, you know, you start to mention a meal name to your child. Lunch, breakfast, dinner, and it's like game off. Like nobody's doing it. You're not going to get someone to sit down and eat dinner. Definitely not dinner. But you say, hey, you want a snack? And all of a sudden, it's like a game changer. Everybody comes running. Everybody comes running, right? I want a snack. I want a snack. I want a snack. Even, you know, the husband comes running. I want a snack.
Yeah.
And so the ultimate snack plate, I mean, think about it. You've got cheese. You've got charcuterie. You've got pickles, nuts, jams, fruits. I mean, you know, all the things that everybody wants to eat. You can cover all your food groups.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook anything.
Love it.
You can just get it all, put it on a big old plate, and say, all right, have at it, you know?
There you go.
I mean,
Covers a meal.
There's no losing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who has time to cook all the time? Not me.
Yeah.
You know, and let's, you know, I mean, the age-old struggle of kids, it's like, you know, you're cooking, you're like, okay, I'm going to cover all the food groups. I'm going to get like, you get it in a plate, and they're like, nah, don't want that. And you're like, I just spent the last 45 minutes. A snack, though?
Snack is king.
I'm telling you, throw in some potato chips, because the ultimate, like in my opinion, the missed pairing is cheese and potato chips.
Okay.
I mean, people always want to go crackers, or they want to go bread, which is great. Crackers and bread are great.
Yeah.
Brooks makes some amazing lavash crackers. I mean, Tyler from Hopwood, you're not going to find a better bread.
Right.
And so, like, I'm not dissing any of that, but potato chips? What kid doesn't want to eat potato chips? Get them to put some cheese on that. Dip it in, whatever. But cheese and potato chips, solid.
I don't know a human being that doesn't like potato chips. Now, I know a lot that can't eat them.
Yeah.
But everyone likes them.
Everyone likes them.
Everyone likes them.
You know, but, you know, cheese is so satiating.
Yeah.
Same with chips. Same with, any salty snack.
Yep.
I mean, and then you mix some fruit in there,
Yep.
whether it's like fresh fruit, dried fruit.
Yummo.
I mean, I stumbled upon recently these dried mango dipped in dark chocolate.
Oh, stop.
And I know, I can't stop. I'm like,
Stop.
I'm like trying to save them for my kids for like stocking stuffers because I'm like,
Yeah.
the second they know about this, it's gonna be
Game
like
over.
game over.
Game over, yeah.
They're so good, I can't stop eating them. Like
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
are we gonna sell any of these, or are you just gonna eat them all?
We're going to talk more food, more cheese, and all that when we come back in 1 minute. We got back.
Your story doesn't have to end. As an organ donor, the good in you can live on. In fact, you can save up to 8 lives through organ donation. Sign up to give the gift of life after you're gone. You'll be happy you did. Just maybe, someone else will too. Sign up online today as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at organdonor.gov. It saves lives.
Last week we had Giving Tuesday, and what I'm going to ask you to do has plenty of giving, but it has nothing to do with money. I want you to go to organdonor.gov and get signed up to be an organ donor. It's basically 5 minutes of your time to go through and get signed up. It's very simple. I say it here all the time. It's very simple to sign up through the Arkansas link. It's very simple to sign up through the Texas link. Both truly take like 5 minutes. Don't know about the other 48 states, but it's probably pretty similar. I'm going to go ahead and lie and say it's exactly the same. That's probably not. I probably shouldn't lie when I'm doing this, but get signed up, organdonor.gov. You can also get signed up through the Health app on your iPhone. Really easy to sign up through that way as well. And if you want to go old school, if you've got to get your driver's license renewed, if you've got to get a car registered, go do it at the Department of Finance here in Arkansas or the DMV everywhere else. Organdonor.gov is the place to go to. Upon your demise, please don't take your organs with you. There are people out there, you'll be saving lives, many, many lives. Thank you so much, as always. And we're back. We're back with Allie K. We're talking cheese. You ready to talk cheese?
I'm ready.
I
Always.
know.
I'm always ready.
Always ready to talk cheese. What was, and we were talking about this earlier, the case is in, it's a bear. You're coming up on opening. How daunting is it, and what do you do to fill your case with cheese?
Well, I've got a lot of answers here.
Okay,
but
all right.
I will tell you, it's the funnest part.
Okay.
It's
good.
the most fun part. It's like going shopping. I
Okay.
mean, who doesn't like to go shopping,
All
right?
right.
Some people.
Well, and
but
you had contacts.
I had contacts.
Okay.
I mean, really, before we opened the shop, the number one, I did a lot of research because I was like, I got to make sure this whole thing's actually going to work.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest pieces was how do you get cheese here, and how do you get it here in a safe, smart way,
Yeah.
and that's a cost-effective method. as well.
100%, yeah.
Because it's not like you can just. You can't just put cheese in a shipping box and ship it here, but you can't
Right.
get all your cheese that way. It's all about balancing it out and averaging it out. And so I have a friend that has a company up in New York,
Okay.
and he consolidates pallets. He's also an importer, third-generation cheese importer.
yeah.
He's amazing, and he has this passion project called Maker to Monger. He also does Cheesemonger Invitational. He makes a lot of cheese shops able to do what they do
Wow.
just by consolidating cheese pallets at his cold storage facility in New York. And so
Awesome.
I'm able to, purchase cheese and kind of get it all into one spot and then truck it down. I mean, we're in Arkansas, Fayetteville.
Yeah.
We're in the land of Walmart. We're in the land of Tyson.
Yeah.
There are trucks coming in and out. JB Hunt. There's trucks coming in and out of
Sure.
here all hours of the day, every day of the week. And so my thought was, if I can just figure out how to get my cheese on a truck and get it here,
Yeah.
done.
Dunzo.
Boom.
Yeah.
And so I, made a bunch of phone calls, and I was like, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking. It might sound a little crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, we got you. Like, you're.
How about you?
And so that was like, for me, that was like the pinnacle of like, okay, we can actually make this work.
This is real.
This is real. If we can get the cheese here, I can sell the cheese.
Of course.
I mean, I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Get it
You know
now.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if we can just get the cheese here, I can sell it.
Awesome.
And so cheese people have a way of just sticking together,
Sure.
you know,
Oh, of course.
and really just helping each other.
You bet.
And so the fact that I'm like, hey, I know we're small potatoes here, Fayetteville, Arkansas, we're this tiny little shop, we're like not, it's not, we're not a giant company. You're not making like hand over fist on not yet.
Yet.
Exactly. I like where your head's at.
Thank you.
But you got to start somewhere.
Right. Sure.
And so, I've always said some of my favorite cheeses. People ask me all the time, "What's your favorite cheese? What's your favorite cheese?"
Yeah.
And I always say, well, it's not my favorite. I can't tell you my favorite cheese, but my favorite style is Alpine cheese, like Swiss Alpine.
Okay.
Gruyere. One of my all-time favorite cheeses is Hallerhocker. I'm not saying it right. It's more like a Hallerhocker.
Hallerhocker.
Yeah, you gotta get into it, but I'm not gonna spit all over your microphone.
You're fine.
So,
you're fine. A little,
a little dusted off a little bit.
A little Yiddish is good. I'm with it. I'm with that. Yeah.
But I love Alpine style cheeses.
Okay.
Cheeses made in the Alps. I love the lore. I love the stories. Those people are hauling milk all up and down the sides of mountains. They're cooking them.
Craziness.
They're making them in these traditional methods. It's just it's incredible.
It's awesome.
And the final cheese is just, it's one of the best things you'll put in your mouth.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's where it's at.
Okay.
But it's people like what Adam's doing and his team of people that they go over and they find all these little bitty cheesemakers, and they're like, hey, we want to buy your cheese. And so it's not only are we getting cool cheese, they're supporting, families that are making cheese in traditional methods, and it's our way of being able to get to try the terroir, the taste of place.
And speaking of terroir, it's this sounds very much like specialty wine distributors.
Boom.
Very similar. The smaller vineyards and getting those to places like Fayetteville, Arkansas, et cetera, et cetera. So there seems to be a lot of similarities there.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's kind of like I said, like I spent a very small amount of time learning how to make cheese, and it was like enough for me to really, truly appreciate the artisans out there that have spent their lives. I mean, their parents were making cheese.
Yeah.
Their grandparents were making cheese.
Yeah.
And they grew up like, alongside them,
You bet.
And it's there's just so much appreciation. I mean, it's like we're so lucky. We're just getting to sit here and eat this delicious cheese, where these people, have been.
It's a story.
It's a story.
Yeah,
and so
it's
one
a
of my
story.
favorite things about being a cheesemonger and having a cheese shop is getting to tell the stories.
That's great,
I grew up, my dad was the best storyteller that there ever was.
I think it was that generation. My dad was the same way.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
every night. I mean, my dad was tucking me in, and so was my mom, but my dad was sitting there telling the stories, And so I grew up in a storytelling kind of life. It was
Family,
just
yeah.
And so I love being able to tell other people's stories.
That's
because,
great.
they're busy making cheese. They don't have time to get out and go all over the place telling
Sure.
their story.
Yeah.
They're relying on their cheesemongers and people like us to say, hey, this is what you want to eat today. And this is why.
Yeah.
You're not just buying cheese from a counter. Yeah, it's not local. Like this cheese is from, Switzerland, but it's made by a family just like you and me.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it's like, Arkansas is very agricultural, but there's not a ton of cheesemakers here.
Sure.
And so, it's, I coming from Texas, local, I mean, in Texas, it's like, you can get in the car and drive 18 hours and you're still in Texas.
Yeah,
and that covers a lot.
I used to live in El Paso, yes.
Yes. Okay. So exactly. So, the idea of local is very widespread.
Yes.
In Arkansas and like some of these other small states, the idea of, it's like, I still look at Missouri as being local.
Sure.
And,
especially where we are.
Where we are. But you still, it's still an interesting area of the United States that's growing, and there's more people learning how to make cheese and doing things like that, which is great. But I just love being able to tell people's stories.
Absolutely.
I mean, it goes so deep,
Kind of same.
And
Yeah.
so that's why we get along so well.
That's it. Well, actually, I'm better at letting people tell their stories.
There you go.
Instead of me telling their stories.
Well, we
yeah.
I will tell you, and
Tell me.
don't don't quote me on this. Don't any of you quote me on this either.
They won't.
We want to launch a storytelling dinner series here that's based on like food and telling people stories.
Oh, that's so good.
Stay tuned.
That's
2026.
Great. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Yes, we will stay tuned. We will stay tuned to that.
We'll let you know first.
Thank you, and all of you as well.
Yes.
So doors open. First cheeses that are non-negotiables. You've got to have this, this, and this. Your top 3 before the doors open.
Okay.
What were they? I'm assuming like a Parmesan wheel. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Okay. Well, yes. No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
So I did. That was one of the very first and most large, expensive cheese purchases
Crack a
that
wheel,
I made.
baby. Yeah.
Well, and normal Parmesan wheels, Parmigiano Reggiano, real deal.
Mm-hmm.
They're typically around 80 pounds. Well, I buy one parm. It's made by Giorgio Crevero, and it's a smaller production parm. It's, in one of my opinions, in my opinion, I have so many opinions. One of my opinions.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the best Parmigiano Reggianos you can get.
Okay.
I mean, it's very highly respected in the cheese world. And when I was looking on my invoice, I was like, this thing says it's 120 pounds. Like, someone must have gotten this wrong. I mean, when you're buying parm, it's like 80 wheels versus 120. You're like, oh my God, what's happening here? This sucker weighed that much.
Oh, no.
And so I'm having our grand opening party.
Yeah.
And I've got this parm wheel out. And I've cracked, when you open up a parm wheel, it's a whole process. You have special knives.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole way to do it. I've done it hundreds of times in my life. When I worked in distribution, half of it was just breaking up parm wheels for chefs.
Okay.
And so I could do it in my sleep. I, in fact, did it when I was 8 months pregnant. I was like, this is going to be when the baby comes. This is when I'm jamming in these wheels. And I'm
no.
But it didn't. She didn't. But anyway, so I had this parm wheel. It's 120 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it open. I'm trying to, you got to flip it around. You got to do all these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be embarrassed in my own shop. Like, in my grand opening, am I going to be able to get this thing open?
Oh, no.
And in comes Jessica Cahey.
Oh.
Again, an angel, a cheese angel. And she's like, holy cow, that's a really big parm wheel. And I'm like, I know. She's like, that's the biggest one I've ever seen. I'm like, I know.
Oh, no.
She's like, let me grab some gloves. I'm like, thank you.
Oh, no.
So she gets gloves on. And so we're trying to get this thing spun around and flipped over. Between the two of us, we get this thing open. She was like, this is the most insane parm wheel I've ever seen. Anyways, we finally get it open.
Yeah.
But it was a really fun, I couldn't have imagined it in any more fun way. It was like one of my cheese besties came in, helped me open this
That's
giant
great.
parm wheel for,
Great.
our grand opening.
Yeah.
And it was so delicious.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I mean, I'm telling you, it's like thousands of dollars. You're not just like, I'm going to buy this.
No, of course not. Oh, yeah.
But can't get any better than Parmigiano Reggiano.
Yeah.
I mean, a true classic Parmigiano Reggiano. I mean, drizzle a little bit of aged balsamic on it, and you're good. Even get a little bowl and dip it in there like chips and dip. I'm telling you, do it.
Good news.
But
Good heads up.
I already talked about Holler Hawker. Again, it's like in the vein of Gruyere. Holler Hawker. I can't even do it. I'm like a cat coughing up a hairball over here.
That's right.
God bless.
That's good.
So you've got Holler Hawker.
Yeah.
A lot of cheese is seasonal, which is one of the things I love
Interesting.
about it.
Okay.
So depending on the time of year, you can't always get the same thing.
Interesting.
And so a cheese that we've got right now that I have been waiting to get is made by Uplands, and they make this 2 months out of the year. They make a cheese called Rush Creek Reserve.
Okay.
It's wrapped in spruce bark. It's this half a pound wheel, and you cut the top of the wheel off and peel it back, and you can dip into it like a dip. It's ripe, it's funky, it's meaty, it's amazing. Their cows graze on they're all grass. And so it makes the milk quality really incredible.
Nice.
And it's based off of a cheese from Switzerland called Vacherin Mont d'Or.
Okay.
And it's hard to get right now because tariffs. Yay, tariffs.
Yes.
We won't get into that because nobody wants to talk about it. It's
Nope.
so fun.
Got it.
But it's really hard to get right now.
Sure.
And so, this cheese is kind of made in that style, but it's made domestically, and so you kind of get this same vibe, but you're supporting a domestic family farm, and a lot of similar flavor profiles.
Nice.
I mean, it's amazing, and we have like 16 wheels right now. We had 16. They all sold for Thanksgiving, and we got one last batch. By the time you post it, I'll still have some.
I'm assuming none of them are 120 pounds.
No, they're half a pound. Maybe like half a pound to like 3/4 of a pound.
All right.
So they're
a little bit bigger than a hockey puck.
Exactly, a little bit bigger than a hockey puck, and much tastier.
Oh well, I would hope so.
One would hope. Otherwise, I won't have a job tomorrow. But there's so many good cheeses here. It's just that's the fun part is like seasonality and small production and getting your hands on cheeses that not everybody else can get.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Speaking of which, Cheese Club.
Cheese Club!
Tell me about Cheese Club.
So it's one of the things I'm most excited about with the shop. Okay. Because it's like a subscription. So, I mean, everybody's online. Everybody's doing, social media. You're getting blasted with all sorts of stuff. You talk about something. Okay. And your phone's like blasting you with like advertisements.
100%.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Even if you mention something near it.
Right?
While you're not talking to someone.
Hey, everybody, listen. Cheese Club. Cheese Club.
I know.
All you phones out there.
I mentioned Tom Selleck once, and I got a reverse mortgage offer in like 30 seconds on my phone. I was like, what's happening here?
What is going on?
Oh, my gosh.
But Cheese Club's great. It's like any other subscription that you do online. You can sign up for it. You can stop and start it at any point.
Okay.
Pretty much everybody who's gotten it once has continued to get it. So you've got 2 different tiers. You can add on wine. You can do... Basically, there's 2 tiers of wine. There's 2 tiers of cheese selection. Okay. And so each month, I pick them out based on, what's cool, what's coming in, what's seasonal. I always give Cheese Club members, like, kind of first dibs on the coolest cheese I think coming in.
Very smart.
And it comes with accompaniments, and just kind of depending on whatever I think is tasting good, what I'm excited about. Sure. And that's really what being a cheesemonger is all about, is like when you find your cheesemonger, stick with them because they'll learn what you like, what you don't like. When you come in and there's like 200, let's just say 100 cheeses because I don't have 200 cheeses.
Sure,
but
I got you.
You come in and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
That's one of the main things that people say. They come in and they're like, this is really overwhelming. What tastes good? What's your favorite cheese? And I'm like, well, what's your favorite cheese?
Right.
Like, are you a cheddar person? Are you a Gouda person?
Yeah.
But with the Cheese Club, you get whatever I'm throwing at
you.
And so that's really the fun part.
Yeah.
And what keeps people coming back is they're like, man, I would have never asked for that cheese, or I would have never thought to say like, oh, I want this goat cheese or that blue cheese. And I got it, and I'm like, what's in my club? I might as well try it. And now I love this cheese.
It's great.
And so, and when you come in, you get 10% off anything in the store on Club Pickup Day.
Nice.
So that's like a motivation. Come in, get a sandwich, pick up a bottle of wine you like. But it's something fun. People are gifting it this holiday, which I love. It's
That's
like,
great.
hey, and
how unique.
It's
such a unique gift.
It's a unique gift. Yeah. You don't have to think about it. No. They don't have to think about it.
Right.
You let me think about it. Let me
100%.
do it for you. And so it's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. And who has... as a mother of 4, I'm constantly trying to figure out what gifts I'm going to give. Sure. It's like there's always a birthday or a holiday and this and that and the other.
Right.
But like you don't always have time. You don't always have the wherewithal to do all of it. And Cheese Club solves all your problems. Give it. You don't have to think about it. They don't have to think about it. They
Sounds
just
great.
show up the 3rd weekend of every month. Yeah. And it's all boxed up and ready to go. And you can take it to a party. You can have a party.
Or you can just sit in the parking lot and eat the whole thing.
You can. Exactly. 100%. 100%. There's no rules. No rules. So.
Okay. I've really got to ask you about wine and how you guys do wine here, because wine is, I've mentioned it here way too much.
We've talked about wine quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm a wine guy.
off the clock here.
Off the clock.
Yeah.
Off the clock. We've talked wine.
Well, I will tell you, I love wine.
Same.
I don't pretend to know as much about wine as I do about cheese.
Well, sure.
Because let's face it, I just don't. But I do love fun, different, unique, exciting things.
Yes.
And so I'm constantly trying to change up what we've got. We definitely have some like wines that we will always have that are just my favorite.
Yeah.
But we're constantly trying to just keep people coming back, change up seasonal. You know, you're not going to want to drink a big, heavy, Malbec in the middle of 100-degree summer. And so
I will.
I mean, well, you will. I'm a rosé all day kind of gal. So I mean, you put rosé in my glass, I'm going to drink it like 20 degrees, 0 degrees, 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But, we do try to change things up based on like what, cheeses are changing. I'm constantly trying to figure out what wines go best with the cheese. So it's not necessarily about the wine, but it's how the wine goes with the cheese.
How it complements it. Yeah.
How it complements
For sure.
the cheese. And so, I'm lucky that I've got a lot of really great reps here, and we more and more we're getting access to better wine, which when I first moved here, 8 years ago,
oh my gosh,
it was really challenging. I came from Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, I came from Dallas, North Carolina.
Sure. Yeah.
And in North Carolina, I mean, they're selling incredible wine out of boxes.
Yeah.
Here, it's like, get the. You don't want to get wine out of a box here.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
North Carolina, like some of the best wines I had were literally out of boxes.
No kidding.
I was like, this is wild because they're,
You said like you're talking box wine.
Box wine.
Yeah.
But it's like conscientious, environmentally conscientious winemakers that are like, we're not going to do glass.
Yeah.
We're going to put really dope fruit in a box.
Okay.
And that way it's like environmentally friendly. And that was like what blew my mind about North Carolina. And then I come here and I'm like, oh, this is kind of wild. But watching it over the past, 8 years, it's been really fun to see all the fun and new and different stuff that we can get. And so for me, I always tell my wine reps, I'm like, you got something fun and new, bring it. Like, I just tasted some really cool Portuguese wines because I'm going to Portugal in May.
Are you?
For my 40th birthday. My sweet mama's taking me. So we're going. I don't know if you've heard of Savin Gallo. She works at the university. She's amazing. And everything she does is amazing.
Yeah.
But she is taking a group to Portugal. And so I'm
awesome.
lucky enough that I get to go. So I've been doing this kind of deep dive into Portuguese cheeses and Portuguese wines, which is just so off the beaten path.
Yeah.
But, with the wine here, it's more about how it goes with the cheese than anything.
Gotcha.
So,
that makes sense. Of course.
And, we're not going to be stocking your $50 bottle wines. Like, I'm trying to stick into, I don't think there's anything here over 28.
Nice.
Most of it's like
it.
15 to 25.
Oh, yeah.
And we try to keep it really great by the glass list so that you can try stuff.
Yeah.
Because for me, our taste everything sign, really, it's like, hey, I want you find a wine by the glass that you like.
Yeah.
Buy a bottle, take it home. You drink one glass and you're like, man, I want a bottle. Open up a bottle.
Yeah.
You find a cheese. You're like, that looks really interesting. You taste it and you're like, wow, that's terrible. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But, it's like sometimes you go into places.
Sure.
I'm not going to name names.
Sure.
But it's like you spend money on cheese that has been pre-cut and you don't know.
Yeah.
You're just like reading a label and you're like, okay, that sounds good. You get home, you spend a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I only like half of these. That's kind of a bummer.
Right.
I never want that to happen to anyone here.
I want
you to try stuff, find what you like, try something you never would have even thought about that you love, and take it home. Tell your friends, come back, try some new stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think our favorite regulars here, they come in and they're like, tell us what you like, because now they trust us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's the fun part of all this is it's like, you find the people that are, adventurous or they're like, we've also got folks that are like, I am not adventurous. So don't give me any of that wild stuff.
I get it.
Yeah. And I love that too. It's like finding out more about yourself.
Yeah, you bet.
And that's kind of what
that's a great way of putting it, I think. That is a really great way of putting it. You guys have dinners and classes and things like that in here.
We do.
Talk to me.
So we do classes, which are some of my most favorite parts because as you well know, we're like however long in. I love to talk about cheese.
Yeah.
I love to tell stories.
We're only 10 minutes in.
Good. No, but our classes are fun. They're all they're pairing classes.
Okay.
So it's like, we've got donuts and cheese, which is our probably top selling class.
I saw that.
I know it sells out in like 2 hours. You can't even get a ticket if you wanted it. But
it's like U2's playing here or something. Yeah,
it's all Tyler. We do spring wine and cheese. We recently just did a champagne and cheese class.
Interesting.
Which we'll do again in around Valentine's Day. We'll do like
nice.
a chocolate cheese and bubbles class.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. And I love port. And
okay.
so I think it's on the 18th December. You'll have to check our website. All tickets are available for on sale on our website.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing a port chocolate and cheese class.
Interesting.
Because it's
okay.
December. We're featuring 2 ports from like the oldest port maker in Portugal.
Okay.
Which hopefully I get to visit.
I was about to say,
there.
yeah.
But it's super fun, and we're always trying to do fun and different, exciting things.
Yeah.
Getting people trying new stuff.
Yeah.
And so the classes are great. And we do fun pop-ups. We've done different dinners. We did a ramen pop-up that was fun. We did gator tacos.
Heck yeah.
It's really, we don't do a ton of them, but we do them. And you have to stay tuned because we have some fun. We did like a pizza pop-up because we've got a wood-fired pizza oven back there that we fire up occasionally.
Oh, nice.
But, we also we have people that book us for catering
sure,
and all sorts of stuff,
yeah.
which is so fun. I mean, so we do a lot of different things. We try to keep the collective part of the name in use.
Yeah.
Like we're constantly trying to support other people, other small businesses, whether you're, Hopwood Breads or, like our chef Brandy Barnes, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She is a wizard in the kitchen. She's incredible. But she does a lot of our house-made accompaniments, and she does specials. So we had like a meatball sandwich last week, and
great.
So we're constantly trying to do different dishes and different small plates and things that feature cheese that just
it's great.
It just keeps people guessing.
Gosh, so creative. So creative along the way. There's like no boundaries with it,
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. It's like your boundary is really like
well,
I don't know that there is one,
well,
really.
any boundary any boundary there is one you would make yourself.
There you
That's
go.
basically it.
There
if I'm
you
not
go.
mistaken, right?
Yep.
Does that sound about
yes,
right?
that sounds about right.
Wow,
that
that's
sounds about
awesome.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Oh my gosh, it's the pleasure's mine.
The pleasure is mine.
I mean, you know me.
How can folks find you online and in person?
That's it.
Don't give your home address or
we're
your cell
like,
phone.
It's like the best scavenger hunt you ever had. It ends in cheese and wine.
That's it.
But you got to work for it.
It's a great reward.
I mean, I will say our signage isn't great, but we do have Google us. We have a great website that tells you all about us. You can sign up for Cheese Club. You can buy tickets. You can. It's really, there's a lot on our menus on there, although we do have a lot of specials that kind of rotate.
Yeah.
So we try to update the menu as often as we can.
Nice.
But we are on College, right next door to Pink House Alchemy. Most people know where that place is because it's amazing. We're calling it the Pink Block because there's lots of pink buildings.
Can't miss it.
In the front of our building is Pink Fern, which if you haven't been in there, you are missing out.
It's a cool spot.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. If you like plants and you like home decor and you like rad people, go in there. I mean, everyone who works there, Lindsay's great. Her taste in antiques and collectibles and plants is just amazing. But they're on the front of our building. A lot of people go in there thinking that we're there because we're in the same building.
Right.
But we're on the side, and we have like the tiniest little sign and some like little yellow planters, and then a neon sign that says cheese. And so really, it's like there's little hints,
What does the neon sign say?
It's cheese, and it's got a little piece of cheese. We're working on signage. 2026 is about signage.
Okay,
but
awesome.
For now,
you
just kind of got to hunt for us a little bit.
All right. And social media, you guys on all the platforms?
Instagram, Facebook.
Okay. TikTok?
No. I'm not young enough to get on the TikTok.
Girl, I'm on TikTok.
You're on TikTok?
For this, yeah.
Oh, gosh,
I know.
I got to figure it out.
I know, right? Let me say, I've not figured it out. I'm just on there. Two different things. Two completely different things.
I think I do have a TikTok, but I just don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got you.
2026.
2026.
2026.
New things.
I've got goals for 2026
New
right now.
things. That's right.
It's just getting to 2026.
Gosh, no kidding.
Surviving.
Right? I feel you, girl. Amen. Amen to that. Well, this has been a blast. Thank you.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah. Flavors of Northwest Arkansas. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, of course. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate you all being here. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Please don't forget to tip your servers. Have a great week. Bye-bye.